Harvard College Act on a Dream, a student-run organization, launched the online petition Wednesday, demanding the safe entry of Ismail B. Ajawi. As of Friday morning, the petition has more than 5,000 signatures. Ajawi told the Harvard Crimson that he flew into Logan International Airport on August 23rd, only to spend hours in questioning. He said an officer searched his electronics and noted that he has friends on social media who have posted critical statements against the United States. His student visa was canceled, and he was deported. Harvard University spokesman Jason Newton confirmed that university officials were working with the student's family and authorities to resolve the issue. The petition calls upon Congress to act in support of Ajawi and for Harvard to continue working to secure his reentry. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. A spokeswoman gives birth to a spokeschild. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Tacoma spokeswoman Tammy Barker became the proud mother of a bouncing baby spokeschild last night. According to spokespeople, Barker, a spokeswoman for a Tacoma-based pharmaceutical firm, the birthing process was a major success. Peter Wahlberg, spokesman for Tammy's husband Phil, had this to say.
At 9:17 p.m. last night, an 8.5-month-old spokes fetus was delivered alive and through the miracle of birth became a 7-pound, 6-ounce spokes child. Spokes father and spokes mother are doing fine.
Spokeswoman Barker is expected to be released from St. Robert's Hospital tomorrow. The spokeschild will remain in the hospital's media care unit for several weeks of training. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
That is right. It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live on this Labor Day edition. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
And, Pope nobody.
Pope Benedict the First of the Church of the Invisible Hand.
So, we are live on Labor Day, and you can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. In fact,
But don't talk about labor. I don't want to go into that.
Well, seems unlikely.
Going into labor can be very painful.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. And any topic is on the table, but I figured it was Labor Day, so I would bring in an article that was aimed at that. So we'll go into labor.
Oh, no.
Nobody.
Quick, somebody panic.
On Reason.com. Now, the article I got, I specifically looked for public sector union stories because I really don't have the biggest problem with private sector unions.
I do.
Well, you may, and you can certainly make whatever points you wish regarding that. However, the history of labor in the country, I'm hot and cold on. Yes, I dislike that labor unions use the power of the state to enforce their rules upon everybody in their union, make everybody join, and then you have to bargain with them and all that stuff. I dislike that. But it's not like employers sat by on the sidelines and never used the government to get what they wanted. So, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and I'm not as concerned.
Well, the problem is in both cases it's the same in that employers use the government to get what they want. Some of them do, and others of them don't. So those employers that do use the state get what they want at the expense of employers who don't use the state. And by that same token, union members, if they get higher wages by pushing other people out of the labor force entirely. So you and the union might get a better job, but somebody else doesn't get a job at all. So that's my issue with even private sector unions. And you can see that when unions don't have government help, if you look back in the day when the government did not skew the playing field for unions, well, what did the union guys do when they went on strike? People would come in and try to replace them, try to do those jobs, which the union guys said they weren't paying enough, but somebody else said, well, that's enough for me. And what did the union guys do?
In a lot of cases, they beat
their butts.
Yeah. Agreed. They think it's their job, right? Like a job is an agreement between two people. So if a guy comes to my house in a plumbing truck and I've got a plumbing problem, he can come in and take a look. And then we can talk about price. And if, I like the price, then he can fix the problem. And if I don't like the price, then he can't. That's what a job is. A job is an agreement between two people. And when it's not an agreement between two people, it's something else. It's coercion is the term we like to use here in libertarian circles.
And the funny thing is this exists on both left and right, because when the union leftists say, they took our jobs, it's no different than when the anti-immigration people say, they took our jobs. In both cases, it's an assertion that I have a right to work, but the other guy doesn't have a right to work. My rights are greater than his.
That's the assertion. Let's go to Daryl calling in. Sorry, Daryl's tied up here. Let's go to Tom calling in from Hudson. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live.
Dorian, by the way, and you've got affiliates down there in Florida, like WZEA FM Daytona Beach and WNDB Daytona Beach and WTTB. 7 years today, by the way, WTTB AM Vero Beach, Florida has had Free Talk Live.
Happy anniversary, Vero.
Groovy.
Yeah, and I'm bringing this up because what you want to do if you're going to be evacuating is put 3 ice cubes in a plastic bag and put that in your freezer, and you come back a week later when the supermarkets are mobbed, and you take a look, and, the clock on your microwave oven is blinking, so you know you lost power at least momentarily, but was it 5 minutes or 5 days? Well, you take a look in that plastic bag there, and if you see it's all a melted together blob, then you know that the fish in your freezer also thawed out.
It's bad.
But if it's still 3 ice cubes, that means that the frozen food did not thaw out, which is very important when the supermarkets are mobbed.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the point about the unions, my gripe was picking up the want ads in my younger days. Well, there's a job, but the buses don't go there. There's another job, but the buses don't start that early. Maybe the temp agency has an assignment for me. Meanwhile, these nice, cushy union jobs working for government-protected monopolies, the public utilities, the bus company, the postal service. Oh, no, we have to reserve those jobs for men who dropped napalm on children in Vietnam. Gee, Tom, if you want one of those nice cushy jobs, why don't you sign up for the next Vietnam War, and then you can drop napalm on children and earn one of these. Meanwhile, I'm paying higher rates for the postage and the telephone for a long time. I couldn't afford a phone, stuff like that, and I'm paying higher rates so that they can enjoy nice overpaid union wages. And that was my gripe for many years, and I didn't like it.
So you were too young to get drafted, is that right?
I was too young to get drafted into the service, but one of the things that the anti-war movement failed to stop was veterans' preference, which went out of style in the 1980s. There was some cutoff date where if you hadn't signed up by then, you don't get veterans' preference. It wasn't part of the deal anymore. but the people who had already signed up, they got veterans preference because they dropped napalm on children.
I got you.
So
Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
It's really specific about that. Whatever.
Well, it is a bad thing to do.
Right.
Nobody should drop napalm on children.
No one should do that under any circumstances. However, I don't think everybody who participated exactly did that. I guess. Anyway, let's go to the phones here. Daryl calling in from Georgia. Daryl, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, man, I heard Free Talk. I got to call in and tell everybody what's going on. I'm up here. I went to the shooting range on Labor Day, got work off. Man, I'm over there trying to sight my rifle in for deer season, and this clown's up there smoking marijuana at the gun range. You believe it, up in North Georgia.
I'm a little surprised.
Ain't nothing wrong with smoking a little weed at the range.
Hey, man,
it's not like you're going to get drunk and shoot somebody smoking weed.
I mean, I tell you what, though, dude, I don't want nobody playing with the devil's lettuce down at the shooting range, man. That's dangerous.
I think they should wait till after the shooting range, personally.
I don't know. I mean, when you look at the danger of lettuce, romaine killed like 50 people last year, and the devil's lettuce didn't kill anybody. So
look, man,
I think the devil needs to get some lettuce that's a little more evil.
Don't get me wrong. Nice Grateful Dead CD, Saturday night, ain't no worries. But, man, down at the gun range, this is dangerous. And I tell you what, that fool had an Alabama shirt on, so you talk about, there you go, right
Roll
there.
Tide.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. Thanks for the call.
Well, yeah, man.
Yeah, see, I carried every day, and I smoked every day, and I had to carry what I was smoking because I was in the drug
you're smoking
business
every day, and you're carrying every day.
Well, and also because I was in a business where, the police were not even going to show up and shrug 3 hours later if something happened to me, so there was nobody to defend me but me.
There you go. All right, let's get back to this story on public sector unions, now that everybody's had their say. And, we'll get right back to it. This is from Reason.com, and it's by David Harsanyi, and I think he's getting some really great points. I mean, he's hitting pretty hard against public sector unions here. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Don't smoke weed at the gun range, kids.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids,
flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa,
the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
An unpopular police officer thinks about committing a racially motivated offense for a little support. A middle-aged man is having the best snacks of his life, and a housefly drops everything to go stand on a watermelon slice. This is the Onion Week in Review. Noting the youth center's ping pong table and array of DVDs and Blu-rays, local youth minister Mark Kindler told reporters this week that his church's new rec room has everything a teen could want. The youth pastor revealed that the basement facility's many teen-friendly amenities include a new Wii U console, an iPod dock for the teens to play any music they like, and some comfortable recliners for those who just want to relax or do their homework after school.
We've really gone out of our way to give the rec room a laid-back atmosphere. It's stocked with snacks, but sometimes at the end of the week, we'll spring for some pizza. Honestly, I wish I had a place like this when I was their age.
In other news, increased violence leads the State Department to issue an advisory for Americans traveling to 1861, and an elderly lobbyist is always droning on about how little legislation used to cost in his day.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. It's Labor Day. Mark with you.
And nobody.
I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's the premier source for information regarding, sort of the cryptocurrency news, specifically Bitcoin Cash. But, there's stories and important aspects of cryptocurrency generally. And recently they have launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There's no ID requirements to sign up and to use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. And finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. It's local.bitcoin.com. Oh, Rich, it looks like there's some bad news. Dave in Alabama, calling on YouTube. What's on your mind?
I think Rich knows exactly what's on my mind. He lost the bet. I told him Florida was going to beat Miami. He didn't want to buy it. And he put down a hefty bet. I would just like to collect my bet. That's all. That's all it is.
Rich, did you bet the man on what?
I don't pay any attention to sports ball.
Don't play like that, Rich. Don't play like that. Come on, Rich. Come on. We've known each other for too long for you to be acting like this right now.
How did we meet?
Come on. Rich. Are you serious right now? You're going to play me like this?
So Florida beat Miami?
In what?
Football.
Did you not see the game? You bet on the game. You don't watch the game?
I don't pay any attention to sports.
He doesn't have a television.
Oh, my
I don't have a television. That's true.
What is wrong with this
Well, I
man?
do have a television, but I just use it as a monitor. I certainly don't watch any sports on it.
Rich, you know what? That's, man.
Now I'll watch me some Rick and Morty.
Thanks for the call,
I
Dave.
don't know what to
It's
say
funny.
no more.
It's hilarious.
That is strange.
I didn't take you for a Miami fan. I, on the other hand, am a bit of a fan of the University of Miami. However, I'm also a bit of a fan of the University of Florida. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I might have bet on that thing, but I was paralyzed by not caring very much, or even knowing that the game was going to happen,
Or knowing how much you gambled.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So back to the story from Reason.com about public sector unions. How does a public sector union work? Easy. First, the state creates a monopoly. The monopoly forces taxpayers to fund those workers, whether they do a good job or not. The union then coerces the workers to pay the dues regardless of whether or not they want to. Then the union uses the dues to help fund political advocacy that perpetuates their monopoly and the union's influence. So in other words, racketeering.
Yeah.
Among many significant problems with this arrangement, the most obvious is that it's an assault on freedom of association. If there's another organization in American life that has a license to compel workers to participate in their non-governmental organizations simply to secure a job, I haven't heard of it. This is the author here saying I. The Supreme Court recently heard oral arguments in Janus versus AFSCME. This was written in 2018, but it's still pretty relevant. In a case in which a man named Mark Janus, a non-union child support specialist in Illinois, argued that his First Amendment rights were violated because he was forced to pay agency fees to the public sector union. It was dismaying, though not unexpected, that during oral arguments, Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Elena Kagan, and Sonia Sotomayor concerned themselves with the impact the decision would have on union membership, rather than concerning themselves with the impact this kind of policy has on the Constitution.
But not as many people would join unions if we didn't force them at gunpoint.
That doesn't really make a difference. Who would pick the cotton, right? It's a crappy argument. The argument is whether or not slavery or being forced into a coercion into a union or whatever is constitutional, or in the case of Supreme Court, or ethical in the case of everybody else. Right? So if you're sitting on the Supreme Court worrying about what it's going to do to union membership, you aren't doing your job and you're not acting like an ethical human being. So strike two.
It is not the job of the Supreme Court to make sure that the unions are fully manned.
No, that is the job of union bosses, the people that go out there and do that stuff. And again, I have no problem with people getting together in a club and in that club, they determine what, work conditions should be like, whether it's wages or I don't know who they're, whatever you want to talk about in your club, that's your business. But once you start using the government to force people to do things, well, then you're in the area of coercion. And I'll admit, employers of the past have not always been perfect. And certainly labor unions made life better in certain ways for certain workers at certain times. However,
they made things worse for other workers at the same time.
I think that, the unions would claim the 40-hour work week and the 2-day weekend and a few other things. I would claim regarding that in the same way that Barack Obama didn't break the glass ceiling when it came to a black president, he proved that there wasn't one because, Americans voted him in and a majority of the people who voted for him weren't black. So there you go. It proved that Americans would vote for a black man for president. In the same way, when these unions got things like 40-hour work weeks for whatever for their employees, and at some point or another these things were made standardized, it just proved that that's what the marketplace was looking for, at the labor market was looking for at the time.
Well, I don't know, because, there's a lot of people, like I've been in a position where I was working 40 hours at one job and I had to get a second job because I couldn't get more hours at the job I was working.
Sure.
Why? Because there's supposed to be a 40-hour work week. Well, what about people who don't want a 40-hour work week? Why should that be forced on us?
Certainly understood. The vast majority of media coverage on the topic similarly relied on euphemism-heavy stories that did everything possible to avoid words like compelling, forcing, or coercing. Most outlets framed the entire case as a concerted partisan attack on unions, and by extension, the Democratic Party. As a matter of legality, the intentions of those involved shouldn't matter much. But the reason different political groups attack public sector unions is that the institution's survival often rests on coercing Americans and undermining the First Amendment. If stripping a political advocacy group of power to force workers into joining their effort is a crippling event, then it's an event worth celebrating. And I'd agree. What about you? 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealestate.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. AFSCME.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live Labor Day edition. Mark with you.
And nobody.
Number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE if you want to call in and talk about, well, public sector labor unions or anything else. That's what we do here. First, I want to tell you about Balance of Nature, new advertiser here on Free Talk Live. And, you know, you can make whatever claims you want about any given nutritional supplement, but what Balance of Nature is it's capsules with dehydrated fruits and vegetables in them. And I think we all know that it's pretty darn close to impossible to overdose on fruits and vegetables, and that eating more of them is good. I've never had a doctor tell me, well, son, you're going to have to cut down on the fruits and vegetables. For good reason. I probably don't eat enough. But, you know, I do attempt to eat fruits and vegetables, and what I found is Balance of Nature's helping me get more fruits and vegetables in my diet. As a matter of fact, if you take 3 of the fruit capsules, let's see, with just 3 of the Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their vegetable capsules, you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that's a lot of nutrition. Good nutrition is a key to looking and feeling great. However, eating right all the time can be a challenge, as we all know. Travel and work schedules can get in the way, or you may not have the desire or time to shop and cook the right foods. So for a limited time, you can get free shipping plus a free set of fruits and veggies. Go to balanceofnature.com and use the coupon code FTL. It's balanceofnature.com, and it's coupon code FTL. They have several products there, and I've experimented with them. I find them to be high quality. Balanceofnature.com, coupon code FTL. Back to the Reason article here. As it is, workers in union-heavy industries are typically under incredible pressure to join. In my experience, there's the author here, there are few bullies bigger than the union boss in everyday American life. Yet general union membership continues to crater. Those who resist these efforts are often accused of being free riders because they purportedly benefit from the collective bargaining but refuse to pay in. This is an exceptionally peculiar argument coming from an organization for which the central mission, as far as I can tell, is to ensure that the least effective workers are protected at the expense of the most effective workers. More than that, though, the entire case against Janus not only rests, this is the Supreme Court case that went on last year, not only rests on coercion, but on a debatable, if not obvious, notion. John Doe must join a union because he already benefits from the collective bargaining negotiations, union advocates argue. Well, does he? Even if we concede that the collective bargaining negotiations might raise the average salary of teachers, it may very well depress his salary. It is just as easy to argue that the collective bargaining hurts the good teacher. Public sector unions are not only arguing that workers must join a collective and subvert their individual rights, but they must accept an ideological contention. In many states, and this is really, ultimately true, if they're bargaining for everybody to get paid the same thing, of course, they're bargaining for everybody to get paid higher than what the median would be anyway, and let's say they achieve that. That doesn't mean they reach the value of the highest and most productive employee for which they're bargaining.
As a matter of fact, it pretty much guarantees that they don't.
Yeah, it's highly unlikely.
You have to pay the good workers less if you're going to pay the bad workers more.
It's true. In many cases, public sector unions don't have collective bargaining rights. Yet, as I write this, every school in all 55 counties of one of those states, West Virginia, where the average teacher's salary is a bit higher than the average workers, are now closed due to an illegal teacher strike. This is from last year, as I said. Most of those average workers in West Virginia have no choice when it comes to their children's education. Yet nearly every story about this situation focuses on the plight of the poor teachers rather than powerless parents. On one hand, we hear the teachers' unions are vital to the economy because teachers would make far less in the private sector. And there seems to be some evidence for this, that teachers in private schools tend to make a little less, but they go there and they do it anyway, and one would presume it's for ideological reasons, and it's also presumed that they enjoy their jobs.
Yeah, one thing that I have read is that surveys show that teachers working for private schools, although they tend to make less on average, they report a higher average job satisfaction.
Yeah.
And, part of the reason for this is public schools can't kick a child out, even if he's evil. Whereas private schools don't undertake, in general, in most cases, to educate evil children. So that's going to make it a lot more pleasant to teach in a private school. You don't have people throwing things at you repeatedly. They might throw something at you once, but after that, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And if you've all you got to do is spend a little time around public school teachers, at least in my experience, is that you find some people who have pretty high level of dissatisfaction with their jobs. And it's probably because the people they work with, you can't get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
And once an atmosphere at a given workplace, kind of turns sour, it doesn't come back easily. It's not like you find a group of employees that go from being unhappy to being happy. They go from surly to less surly, and that's really pretty much the only thing you can do. You can give them some more money, and then they pipe down for a little while, and that's about it. In schools, there's a lot of things for teachers to complain about. Crappy buildings that they work in, they're getting old textbooks, the money's being spent improperly, low wages, students they can't get rid of, behavior problems. I mean, there's all kinds of things for them to complain about, but there seems to be a higher level of job satisfaction among private sector teachers.
Yep.
Going on, in the next breath, we hear them argue that teachers are substantially underpaid compared to what others earn in the private sector. So there's a simple way to find out how much public sector employees are worth individually, and that's breaking the union's monopoly. I don't think you can find out what public sector employees are worth individually by breaking the union's monopoly. We have cities, towns, counties, states even where they don't have public sector unions. I think there's some states where it's even outlawed. But, that's you can't find the value because the people paying the paychecks aren't doing the negotiating.
And they aren't paying with their own money.
Right.
Somebody who owns a business is going to be a more enthusiastic negotiator because every single dollar that's spent comes out of his pocket.
If I own a radio station, I'm going to be the one who's bargaining with the DJs and the traffic director and whomever on the wages that they get. And I'm going to have to pay enough to retain them, and the better ones are going to be offered more elsewhere, so I'm going to pay them more in order to retain them. But when it comes to public sector employees, I don't care what whether it's teachers or garbage men or what it is, you are the one who pays through your taxes, and no one ever asks you what you think about a given employee or whatever. Try to get one of them fired. You're not their boss. You're just the one forced to pay. And if you're forced to pay, but you don't get to make any decisions, what does that make you?
A great example of this is New York City teachers. They have places in New York City that they call rubber rooms.
Oh, yes.
And the rubber rooms are where they store teachers that are too dangerous to be allowed around students, but can't be fired.
That's right.
What kind of school can't fire a teacher that's too dangerous to have around students?
Dangerous or the unwanted, just bad, whatever the reason is that if they're sitting in a room doodling in order to get their paycheck, New York, you're being ripped off.
Yep.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world. That bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. That's 800-590-4930.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Live Labor Day edition. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
Actually reading an article from 2018 here. But I think it's important to discuss the notion of public sector unions. And Free Talk Live is probably going to take a different stance on public sector unions than any other radio program does, conservative or liberal. That's because Free Talk Live is a different sort of show. Free Talk Live, we're pro-liberty. That's human freedom, every issue, every time. And that's not what you're finding on talk radio around America. If you like that and you want more of it, if you want those ideas to spread and you want to see us on more radio stations and downloaded by more podcast listeners, there's one simple solution. Go to amp.freetalklive.com and give us $5 a month. Now, $5 a month is not the kind of money that the average person is going to miss. But with $5 a month, we're able to get on more radio stations. We're able to get more podcast downloads. And podcasters like Ryan Lang support us. Ryan Lang's, I think it's Lang or Lange. Ryan, thanks. He's a silver amplifier over at amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp, A-M-P, amp.freetalklive.com. This article from Reason says if Americans, finishes up here, if Americans want to join organizations that undercut initiative and achievement to slide employees into safe, predetermined slots regardless of ability or work ethic, that's their business. If they want to break the law and blackmail entire communities who have no choice but to walk away, they should be fired. If they want to force coworkers to pay for their political activities, they should be stopped. And if they claim that most teachers want to willingly participate in union efforts, the only way to find out is by giving those public sector employees a choice. And like I said, that was David Hartsney, and he's the senior editor of The Federalist and an author. And I think that he makes some good points. By the way, I wanted to go over that the Supreme Court's ruling regarding Janus here, Janus versus AFSCME, which was referenced in the story. Neither an agency fee nor any other payment to the union may be deducted from a non-member's wages, nor may any other attempt be made to collect such a payment unless the employee affirmatively consents to pay. By agreeing to pay, non-members are waiving their First Amendment rights, and such a waiver cannot be presumed. Rather, to be effective, the waiver must be freely given and shown by clear and compelling evidence. Unless employees clearly and affirmatively consent before any money is taken from them, this standard cannot be met.
And that comes from the decision, not the dissent?
That's the decision, right?
So,
that's the Supreme Court's decision. So at this point, no one can be forced into to pay dues in a public sector union. But I don't think that's the end of the story. Personally, I'm of the opinion that you, the taxpayer, I don't think any of us have gotten away without paying all the taxes. So we're all taxpayers, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
You, the taxpayer, are forced into this relationship with these employees. So you pick your particular area of the government. I'm going to go ahead and say garbage collection. Now, I'm not going after the garbage collectors, but I kind of am. Here in Keene, New Hampshire, we have garbage collectors. But those garbage collectors are private. And we have several different companies that will come around. And they'll pick up your trash. If you want your trash picked up once a week, they'll do that. If you want it picked up twice a week, they'll do that. They'll take your garbage away from you. They'll do the recycling for you. They'll do whatever you want. Whatever level of service you're looking for, you can get it. Or you can go to the transfer station or the dump, depending on which town or city or whatever you're in the given area, and you can drop it off yourself. That's what I choose to do. Every Saturday morning, my son, who is effectively my garbage collector because he has to go around the house and pick them all up out of their spots and, throw them into the big bag, and then we have to do the kitty litter, and then all the stuff we picked up from the dog in the bags out front. He really doesn't like that. I take care of that. I pick up that bucket and I dump it in for him because he doesn't want his little fingers on any of that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he goes and does it all, and then we go to the dump. And, you put the recycling in the one thing and you put the garbage in the other. And then there's, household, whatever. There's all kinds of different metal, scrap metal. And that's the level of service we want. Now, we don't have a choice as to whether or not we pay for the transfer station. And I don't have good arguments for what happens if you let people voluntarily pay for the transfer station, because I think that there's a lot of evidence that some people just hide their garbage rather than paying. They'll dump on the side of the road or whatever they'll do.
Don't you have to pay when you dump at the transfer station now?
No. It's included in the the remarkably high property taxes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yes, but they'll give you stickers for your vehicles, and they make sure that the license plate's right on it. That way you're not coming in and sneaking in. Then again, I don't know how. Nobody's checking these things that I've ever seen. But, in other towns, when I've lived in Sarasota, Florida, for instance, I paid those garbage men. They're like, oh, well, I'm not picking that up. That's too heavy. Oh, these little branches that you've got laying out here, they're not exactly the right length of length. Oh, now you've cut them the right length? Well, now they need to be bound in bundles. Whatever the complaint is, always happening. I'm not getting that from my private sector garbage men here. Now, I've never had I did at one point. I've rarely had a garbage pickup since I've been here. But Ian, my normal co-host, he's got garbage pickup. And
for sufficiently small values if normal.
Right. and his experience with it is entirely positive. And the amount that he's paying, well, it's commensurate with what was on the bill for garbage pickup in Sarasota, Florida. So you could have bad customer service twice as often as good customer service here in Keene, New Hampshire. And, it's up to you if you want to do that, ladies and gentlemen, but you're forced. You don't have an option. If you decide, I don't like these garbage men, you can call and complain, and maybe it'll get back to them. Maybe they'll shape up, or maybe they'll start following the rules exactly with you, and the rules are probably not in your favor because you didn't get to write them. So you got to pay. You don't write the rules. You don't hire the employees. You don't decide what they're paid. Nothing. You have no control. You have the ability to complain. Welcome to America, where you're free to complain and own guns. That's it.
The only thing that really needs to be done by government is those things that the people don't want. Because if the people want a thing, they'll pay for it themselves. They don't have to be forced. It's when they don't want a thing that they have to be forced.
I think that there's a pretty good argument for that there's basically, if they want it, they're going to pay for it. That's pretty obvious here with garbage pickup in this general vicinity. I could pay for garbage pickup if I wanted to, but I don't.
Right.
I'd much rather take it to the transfer station myself. And, well, end of story. However, like I said, I still haven't been able to solve that little conundrum in my head about the transfer station. So let me lay it out for you, ladies and gentlemen. And you can call in at 855-450-3733 and tell me a free market solution to this, because this is one of those ones that I haven't been able to come up with the best solution for. You got to pay for what effectively is the dump. The transfer station's the dump, and that's where you put your garbage. Well, I'd be happy to pay for it because that's where I want to put my garbage. But there are people who make less money, have a lot bigger problems in their lives. I don't know, think about the meth heads or whatever. And, maybe they can get the social skills, together to put a garbage can out in front of their house, but they can't put the social skills together to get their garbage to the dump themselves. And there's certainly people like this. And what are they going to do with their garbage? Well, some of them are going to take it and they're going to find a dumpster someplace and use somebody's dumpster, which it doesn't confront me, but it's wrong. Or they're going to find some place to dump their garbage that nobody sees them doing it, and then just leaving trash around, basically littering effectively. And I had a piece of property here where somebody was just dumping bottles and, metal and stuff in this one particular area. I had to dig it all up because the pigs kept cutting their noses on the broken glass. So, yeah, it isn't the easiest problem to solve. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Or you can call us in the Discord lines and sound like you're right in the studio. Discord.freetalklive.com. Go there, download the app, and the on-air call-in lines are available to you. There's 3 of them. Discord.freetalklive.com.
Balance of nature. changing the world one life at a time.
My skin's a little better and a little more energy. It's all around. It's pretty good stuff. I mean, I'm very skeptical about things, and when I do get something, it better be good or else I won't get it. So if I'm sticking with you this long, that means it's working.
I've had a couple of times where I thought I was going to get a cold or the flu or something, and then a day or two later, I'm fine. I never really got sick the whole time that I've been taking Balance of Nature, so it's keeping me healthy. So I'm just going to continue it.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And after your third month, we will ship to you at no charge an additional set of fruits and veggies. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FREETALKLIVE.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,521, silver at $18.37, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,625. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, an FBI crime lab is examining 2 cameras from the area outside Jeffrey Epstein's cell, which reportedly malfunctioned the night he died, according to Reuters, citing a law enforcement source. The Mind Unleashed reports the 2 cameras would have had a view into the Manhattan jail cell, where, on August 10th, Epstein was found hanging by his bedsheet in what has been ruled a suicide. During a Tuesday court hearing, Epstein's lawyers told U.S. District Judge Richard Berman that they doubted Epstein committed suicide and that the pedophile's injuries were far more consistent with assault than hanging, according to one of the attorneys. The 66-year-old financier was arrested July 6 on charges of sex trafficking minors and pleaded not guilty. He was denied a request for pretrial release, after which he was found with injuries he says were inflicted by his cellmate, according to his attorneys. During Tuesday's hearing, 16 women testified that Epstein had sexually abused them. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Solar panels that catch fire are not desirable or eco-friendly. Activist Post says it's bizarrely coincidental that the combustible panels are being made by Elon Musk's company, which also sells flamethrowers. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, Walmart is suing Tesla because of solar panels that caught fire at 7 of its stores. The lawsuit alleges that poorly trained installers who Tesla hired for Walmart were at fault, not the actual units. In 2018, Tesla solar panels also caught fire at an Amazon warehouse. Amazon has no plans to install any more of them. More bad news on solar panels was reported in a July segment of Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. Many solar panels are turning out to be an expensive disappointment and even toxic. Elon Musk's company has also been launching satellites into space to beam 5G millimeter waves at Earth. An online petition calling for the return of an incoming Harvard freshman who was denied entry into the United States has garnered thousands of signatures. Harvard College Act on a Dream, a student-run organization, launched the online petition Wednesday, demanding the safe entry of Ismail B. Ajawi. As of Friday morning, the petition has more than 5,000 signatures. Ajawi told the Harvard Crimson that he flew into Logan International Airport on August 23rd, only to spend hours in questioning. He said an officer searched his electronics and noted that he has friends on social media who have posted critical statements against the United States. His student visa was canceled, and he was deported. Harvard University spokesman Jason Newton confirmed that university officials were working with the student's family and authorities to resolve the issue. The petition calls upon Congress to act in support of Ajawi and for Harvard to continue working to secure his reentry. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Captain Actual America is overweight and hopelessly in debt, and the Richie Rich comic strip introduces a new, even gayer character. As if you needed another reason to remain in your isolated and socially degenerative cocoon, this is the Onion Week in Review, Comics Edition. Sources confirmed Tuesday that the Comic Book and Sci-Fi Expo Comic-Con was once again marred by BullyCon, an increasingly popular event held in the same convention space. Now in its 5th year, BullyCon reportedly drew more than 125,000 tormentors from across the nation, all of whom were bent on beating up and torturing those attending the many comic book, television, and movie panels at Comic-Con.
When this got started, it was just a couple of friends who wanted to beat the shit out of some Joss Whedon fans, but now there are thousands of us, ruining Walking Dead panels, taunting Harry Potter nerds, and really making some video gamers' lives completely miserable. I don't necessarily need to travel to San Diego to slap a copy of Spider-Man out of some pussy's hands, but there's something really special about coming together with people who dig the same sort of cruelty you do.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. Live Labor Day edition. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
And you can call in and talk about whatever you want on Free Talk Live. That's why we call it Free Talk Live, for goodness sakes. It couldn't be more clear, could I? The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in freedom. There was yet another terrible mass shooting that went on in Texas. And, yeah, there was one in just a couple weeks ago in Texas. And we're hearing about a lot of these mass shootings going on. And I think it's worth looking at gun violence as a whole, because the claims are coming more and more. They're getting louder and more clarion for something to be done. And something will be done by the government. The government will do something in order to prevent mass shootings. That something will fail because mass shootings are already illegal.
It's true.
And it's already illegal for people who've committed terrible crimes to get guns and all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So the illegality of these things isn't going to change anything. This isn't the island of Great Britain or even New Zealand, where they're having a very difficult time collecting the rifles that they've just recently made illegal. this country, unlike all the rest, has, I mean, it's basically 2 firearms per person in the country.
Yay!
And
we need to get those numbers up, though.
Those are rookie numbers?
Those are rookie numbers.
And that is, like, it's just not, all you're going to do. Like, the old saying is if you outlaw guns, then only outlaws have guns. Which means that if you're out making guns illegal, then the good people that currently have guns are going to be left undefended when the bad people want to come along with their guns and do bad things to them.
Well, when you outlaw guns, people become outlaws.
Some do.
Hopefully.
Some do.
You know, because the thing to do...
But some will turn them in.
At that point, that's when you know that the time has come to fight. It's like, consider a kidnapping. What's your last chance to fight? It's right before they tie you up or otherwise incapacitate you.
Mm-hmm.
If you let them incapacitate you, they own you.
Yeah, they can do what they want.
So, you know, if there is a time to launch a second American Revolution, or third or fourth, depending on how you count it, then it would be when they started passing more gun laws.
Well,
and
they're
really,
going to be
it should have been done over the machine gun bans, because what we need is not AR-15s, it's M16s.
I don't know that that having a fully automatic weapon is going to be particularly useful for you in any kind of takeover. I think that I think that already we're outgunned and you're going to lose a lot of people. But I think that if people would have stood up against the gun confiscation laws when they occurred initially, then there might have been, there might be more freedom now. But the reality is most of these people are like, we want common sense gun laws, and they're only going to take them from these people or those
people. And that's
people.
from people with no common sense,
right? They're gonna make these red flag laws that say, that if you've been reported by somebody to be mentally ill or whatever, they're going to take your guns away for a period of time till they determine that it's time for you to get them back or whatever. And who knows if the person who reported you is going to do something bad to you in that amount of time? Who knows?
So, how many people have been killed in American history in mass shootings, do you think?
I couldn't tell you, but I would say that it's you're talking about civilian mass shootings. You're talking about when the government goes into an Indian village and mows everybody down.
Yeah, I mean, that was the worst mass shooting in history, was at Wounded Knee, 216 people killed, worst in American history, but that was done by the military right after they turned in their guns. So don't expect mercy if you turn in your guns. Expect ugly death.
So I would guess that it numbers in the thousands would be my guess in mass shootings, depending on how you define it. That's the other part of mass shootings that gets so murky is that
right.
So is it a multiple number of gunshots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where is it? Because when I think of a mass shooting, I'm thinking of a mall, a school, maybe that guy that was up in the shooting on a concert from Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, mostly they define mass shooting by both what it is and what it's not. The official definitions say that it's a shooting of over 4 people where the shooters... basically it's not gang related, because of course there are many more mass shootings that are gang related than there are other mass shootings.
Okay.
But those don't get counted.
People don't really care whether gangs shoot each other up. I honestly don't. I mean, if the gangs want to shoot each other up, go right ahead. I don't care.
And
please don't hit anybody.
The other things, but it's significantly less than 10,000 people, I'm pretty sure, in the United States, all told. Well, guess what? The Chinese government mass shot 10,000 people in Tiananmen Square on one day.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't know
they
10,000 people
murdered
died.
10,000, and most people don't know that.
No.
They don't admit that, but that, I believe, is the pretty standard number. Like, I think that's uncontested enough to be the number on Wikipedia, which not necessarily. It's a good source if you want to find out what people believe, but not necessarily what's true.
I mean, police in the United States shoot more than 1,000 people generally per year,
which is way more than die in mass shootings per year.
I think what people are afraid of when it comes to mass shootings is that they think to themselves, and I do think this to myself, is that if I if I'm not some kind of criminal or whatever, the chances are good that I'm not going to get shot by a cop. But
that depends.
These people who went to this concert never imagined for the life of them that was going to occur. There's certainly
which concert's this?
The concert I was talking about. Was,
okay. You're
Las
talking
Vegas.
about the Las Vegas concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, the mass shooting could just happen to anybody anywhere. So it's terrifying in that way.
Who lived above the cop in Texas, and she showed up at his apartment, and she basically, he opened the door, she shot him, and then said, "Oh, sorry, wrong door."
That happened. Yep.
Or
when the
he didn't
cops
expect that either. He didn't see that coming. He didn't think, "I'll bet that neighbor of mine downstairs is going to whack me one day."
I would agree with you that there are certainly a number of shootings per year that are completely beyond the pale when it comes to police, but I think a lot of them have to do with people are bringing a knife to a gunfight and a variety of things like that. So I'm not justifying. I'm just saying that if I were to categorize the shootings the police made and base it on would I have been in this circumstance, right? Like certainly a cop could come to my door, think it's their house, and shoot me. Yes, that could happen to anybody. But if I happen to be sitting in the car with somebody who's, wanting to wave a gun at a cop or something, well, I'm not going to be there generally. That's not going to be where I'm at. So I'm just saying that I'm not justifying any of this. I'm just saying Americans are terrified of mass shootings because they're so unexpected.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't be unexpected because they do happen from time to time. It's just one of those things where no matter who you are, no matter where you go, you might find yourself in a security situation where you have to defend yourself. And the question is, are you going to expect that reality or are you going to deny that reality?
I want to read this article from the Foundation for Economic Education about mass shootings, and I think it's got some important information in it that we all need to know. The number, 855-450-3733. Your thoughts on mass shootings, 855-450-FREE.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. Go Dark Bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit godarkbags.com/FTL. That's godarkbags.com/FTL.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we
we tried failed, except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free, packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Live Labor Day edition. Mark with you.
And nobody.
You can call in and discuss whatever you want tonight. We did go over public sector unions, but now we're talking about this article here from the Foundation for Economic Education. Mass shootings are a horrible way to understand gun violence. And we'll go on with that here, but we also have to take your calls. First, I want to tell you about MyPillow. Not MyPillow specifically. MyPillow that I have is a MyPillow, which is a brand. And you know, it's important to have a good pillow. I've had lots of different pillows in my life. Matter of fact, I've been traveling recently, and I found that these down pillows are still out there. If you're sleeping on a down pillow, throw that thing away. Yes, I used one for many, many years, and I thought it was the best pillow you could get. That's what I was told. My grandmother used one. What could possibly be wrong with it? It deflates at night. That's what happens. Your head goes from being in a good position, which is, you know, your head and your spine being essentially in a straight line. That's what you want. You don't want your head cocked up or cocked down, either direction. You want it straight.
I'll keep my head uncocked, thank you.
But these down pillows, they just flatten out on you. They're terrible. MyPillow is designed to help you get a good night's sleep. Not only will it keep your head and neck in the right position, which is extremely important. You can hear me talking about that. But you can wash this thing. Try washing a down pillow. The only thing you can do is dump all the feathers out. And God knows what that's going to do to your allergies. And then wash the thing that holds the feathers. I don't know, the sort of that interior case thing. And then the liner, I don't know what you call it, and then dump them all back in, and in some cases sew it back up. or zip
I'm
it
not
up.
down with that.
And I'm not down with it either. But MyPillow, it has a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you've got nothing to lose. Go to MyPillow.com, get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price, and get free shipping on all orders when you use the promo code FTL. Remember, if you don't like your MyPillow, you have 60 days to return it for a refund of your purchase price. That's MyPillow.com, promo code FTL. And I love it. I'll continue to advocate for this pillow because it's great. MyPillow.com, coupon code FTL. Let's go to Joel calling in from Arizona. Joel, you're on Free Talk Live.
How you doing, guys?
All's well. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm just really tossed to and fro on this. The violence, the mass shootings. Yeah, they're obviously just crazy, cowardly, stupid, horrible, all the above. And then again, it just goes reversed on the fact that the guns are killing the people, and it's really the people. And then it goes to the red flag situation where people. I know somebody personally that his girlfriend was mad at him, and because of a divorce, and so she called a red flag on him, and the guy lost all of his guns. He's never had a violent bone in his life. He goes to church all the time. He's always been mild-tempered. And he just lost all of his rights. Now he has it on his record that he's this mental person, and the courts didn't even give him a hearing. Yeah. I don't even understand how that even works.
Well, I mean, it's because everybody's scared. That's how.
Yeah, well, I know, but if you're scared, that doesn't mean you can go around and just start flapping your mouth that everybody's crazy, because you know what? I'll be honest. I think everybody's crazy in their own way. But there's people that are really seriously mentally ill, and I just think that they need to be rooted out a little bit more careful rather than being used to ruin someone's life, just because I just think that's an open gun for anybody to use on anybody to ruin their lives.
I would say that our society has become so twisted that anybody who isn't crazy is nuts. There's no being well adjusted to a profoundly sick society is not a sign of health.
Yeah, when I mean, there's obviously people I've met in my life that I don't want to see with a handgun, right? These people are mentally ill, sufficiently mentally ill. You're walking along, you're swatting at imaginary flies and chatting somebody who's not there up. Yeah, perhaps you shouldn't have a handgun. The chances that person manages to put together the life skills to get a handgun are slim, but I don't want them to have it. So I can say, yes, I will agree that there are people who are sufficiently mentally ill that they shouldn't have a handgun. But that's why I'm saying that's why I'm to and fro, because even if you say you can't have a gun, the criminals are still going to get it. That's what they do for a living. Yeah.
Then they end up having the guns, and we don't have any guns. That doesn't even make sense.
Right. I'm a convicted
They're
felon.
going to break the laws. I don't care how many laws you pass. They're going to get them.
Right. I'm a convicted felon, and it's against the law for me to own a handgun. Now, what I like to tell people when they say, well, that's just the way it is. You shouldn't have committed the crime. And I agree, right? Like I shouldn't have. I can't go back in time. I wish I could undo it. And now I've got to live for, let's see, I've been out of prison for more than 2 decades. I've got a family. I can't defend that family the way that everybody else can because I'm, disarmed. So what I am is this law-abiding ex-con who doesn't own the firearm. But if I wanted to get one, who among us thinks it's going to take me 24 hours?
Yeah.
Who thinks that?
I agree with that. I
know who your friends are, so yeah.
Indefinitely banned from guns like that because you did time 2 decades ago. I think that needs to be fixed. If you're going to keep guns from criminals or felons like you say you are, then why are they allowing them to vote? They won't let them vote, but they,
there's most states they can vote.
Really
we can vote in New Hampshire.
But they'll throw a red flag on a totally nice guy like my friend, but they won't let a criminal vote. I mean,
it doesn't make any sense. It really makes none at all. Thank you for the call, Joel. Appreciate it.
You got
855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free as in freedom. We already have laws against shooting people. You don't need to make it so that felons don't get guns because this is my favorite example on this particular one. It is legal, federally legal, for felons to possess a black powder pistol in all 50 states. Now, some states have rules against it. At least one does. But it's legal from a federal level. In most states, it is legal for a felon to have a black powder pistol. So, if the legality of the weapon is what causes the crime, then please, ladies and gentlemen, show me the news story of the felon that robbed a liquor store with a black powder pistol. I mean, this is it. This is crystal clear. It is legal for a felon to have a black powder pistol. So you would think if these laws did one thing besides throw law-abiding ex-cons back in prison, one thing of social value, that you would be able to show, look, hey, look, here's where the felons go and rob the liquor stores with black powder pistols. But no, this is a pointless law that's based completely on emotion.
Oh, absolutely. And it can be egregiously misused. I was arrested last year in Bedford because amongst all my other tools, I had a machete in my trunk. And I'm a felon for selling weed. Now, this isn't technically illegal in the state of New Hampshire.
No, it's not.
But I'm still facing charges. I will still go on trial. It will still cost me hundreds of dollars for an attorney. And I still spent 2 days in jail over this.
855-450-3733. Tell me why felons shouldn't have guns. 855-450-FREE.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
I just heard the best sales pitch I've heard in a long time on an airplane. The flight attendant announced, if you paid more than $75 for your round-trip ticket, you overpaid. This is brilliant because everybody on the flight paid more, and I was struck by how all the road warriors stopped typing and reading and working and looked up. The announcement invited us to apply for the airline's credit card, and the sign-up bonus, enough frequent flyer miles for a free round trip. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. With some banks offering free credit cards, $75 is an outrage for an annual fee, but a bargain for airline tickets. For more tips on communicating more effectively, hit survivalspeech.com, where you can see how I got the CEO of another major airline to shower me with freebies. I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in and talk gun snatching here on Free Talk Live. The number, 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
Live Labor Day edition. Let's go right to the phones. Got Ron calling in from New York, listening to WGGO. Ron, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, great topic. Felons should not have guns. They lost their privilege. My dad's a firearms instructor. I grew up with him. You shouldn't blame the gun. That would be like blaming Ford Motor Company. Some idiot gets...
I'm having trouble hearing you, Ron. Can you talk right into your phone?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Dad's a firearms instructor. I think all felons should lose their privilege.
Okay.
And on the other hand, you shouldn't really blame the gun. It'd be like blaming Ford Motor Company for an accident that a DUI guy had. And my other topic, I talked to your call screener. Got a couple of these.
Well, wait, but let's address the topic that you just threw out there, that felons shouldn't be able to have guns in front of two felons. So let me make a counter here. I'm willing to concede that it is bizarre to hand out Berettas to everybody who walks out of prison. I'm with you, right? Like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. But don't you think it should be easier to get back your right to keep and bear arms than, say, going in front of the governor and getting clemency?
Okay, but if you're a felon and you're in prison, how can you do that? I mean, if it was a nonviolent crime, was there some kind of stipulation that you were proved not guilty while you're there?
I'll give you my answer is I'm a felon because I sold some weed to a heroin addict.
Okay, so that was a nonviolent crime. I think something like that, it was absolutely nonviolent and you're not a threat to society, that maybe the NRA or somebody would come in and say, okay, this is something, maybe the guy was 16, 17, 22 years old, he sold some marijuana to somebody and it got caught in it like that. And maybe they would say, okay, the NRA wants to be on a shooting team. I think I would make some kind of an allowance for you on somebody like that. Instead of somebody that just robbed a bank with a gun, we're not going to give them a gun again. I see your point.
Well, I mean,
the thing is, when the banks rob you, it becomes rational to rob the bank.
I hear you.
So obviously people can't have guns in prisons, and I'm willing to concede that that there needs to be a period of time that one might prove oneself to be a law-abiding citizen. But you will concede that there are plenty of people who get out of prison and then never, ever, ever have a run-in with the law again, right?
Right.
And would you not be willing to negotiate just a set period of time that somebody is able to sort of wait after their last contact with the state? I mean, probation, parole, prison, whatever it might be, to no problems, to then being able to possess a firearm.
Yeah, I think you should make an allowance in that case, and I think it also should have been a misdemeanor, and it was a nonviolent crime.
Well, that's in his case. In my case, I am also a convicted felon, and I was in the room where somebody was a hotel room where someone was killed. So that's a violent crime because
being in
took
the
a guy to
room
an airport.
is not an act of violence.
I understand, but that doesn't change the fact that I was charged with a violent crime.
True.
And in my case, I have been out of prison for more than 2 decades and never had a run-in with the law. And I can't own a firearm now. Now, I'm not begging you or anything here. I'm just saying, understand that I could get a gun tomorrow. and that this law only prevents me from getting it if I choose not to get it, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I think personally that if somebody has been out of prison, they've beat the 5-year window, which with the most likely to return to prison. If you're going to go back to prison, you're likely to return in the first 5 years. That if you beat that out, then I don't think that should be an issue as to whether they own a gun. And I'll go on one more story. Gun laws in America have a horrifyingly racist history. Right? Like every time they write a law that says that does in fact infringe the right to keep and bear arms, it seems to somehow be used against black people more than other folks. And I knew 2 guys in prison, old men, whose only crime was their house got searched by the cops because their sons were accused of something, and they found guns. The old man was a felon, and off they went to prison.
They're trying to put me in prison for having a machete in my trunk with my other tools.
So I agree with you that a concealed carry permit holder is the safest person in America. They're a 10th less likely, 10 times less likely than a cop to commit a crime.
Good stats.
They are good stats. They're absolutely great stats. I love concealed carry permit holders. But I'm just saying that if somebody isn't allowed to re-enter society, that, bad things are going to happen. Your house can get broken into if you're a convicted felon. Should be able to protect your family. They can, the people that are going to do bad things to a concealed carry permit holder are just as likely, maybe even more likely, to do it to somebody who's simply trying to live a good life and go straight.
I really like to...
Go ahead, Ron.
You're now in a 20-year window where nothing has happened, and you're completely, and maybe you were in the wrong place at the wrong time at the hotel. I don't know.
I was certainly in the wrong place at the wrong time as a 17-year-old.
Certainly wasn't the right place.
I made very, very poor decisions, but I would contend that those decisions really didn't have to do anything to do with a person's death. However, even if it did, even if I was, there's certainly a 17-year-old out there that killed somebody who's gotten out of prison who has not committed a crime thereafter. It's sad that that's the case, that a crime was committed, but you can't undo what's done.
Yeah, and there's a 20-year window that you're in now. I think maybe all cases should be looked on in a one-on-one and just isolate each incident. Maybe take a look at stuff like that. Discrepancy of the state.
See, my argument is that, we should stop putting people who haven't harmed people in prison at all, but that restrictions on gun ownership should end with probation or parole.
I would go a little further than that, but Ron, you called in about something else, and I didn't want to entirely derail you. Go ahead.
Hey, I was going to mention a couple of the Epstein. There's some weird stuff going on where there's broken bones in his neck, and he was in jail, and there's no cooperation. He had a couple of the girls. I know that there's 3 in North Jersey. They had a blog. The one girl has a blog. She says, understand what I'm singing about. I had the look. Young girls like myself are sought after. And there's 2 older girls in town she calls the producers. The older females liked my look. Obtaining me for this service is quick and easy and simple as search and click online. I start the blog casual and get to the real topic. Hone in on the changes between needs and wants. It's a toxic world. There are instances where I struggled and I need protection. And in the same town, you had if you Google Prosecutor Valdez arrest Officer Stephen Rigorito, same town, Woodland Park, New Jersey, expose himself and solicit. They have 12-year-old girls from 12 to 18. And the girl's blog says that I'm forced to dance in skimpy outfits on poles.
Is this for Epstein that she was forced to dance, or just generally forced to dance?
Well, the 2 older females she talked about in that town, I know personally. I had a bad experience there. I was at their house, and I had to leave the house. They said, we have numerous guys coming in and out of the house, and neighbors are watching the house. We're running a kind of sex act here. So I left. And the girl says in her blog, high school girl target for marketing by the 2 older females in town she calls the producers. Needs to beeline it out of town. The producers kept this in mind. It's a predetermined life so desperately wish to escape. After this fact, you're forced into marriage with these guys. And this Reno
Forced
guy,
into marriage with whom?
See, I've heard that, but you know, I've never heard anybody say this person was forced to marry that person, and there should be a matter of public record there.
Thank you for the call, Ron. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Hey everyone, Proactive MD has an incredible offer for our radio listeners only. Stay tuned for our exclusive offer that includes a free charcoal pore cleansing brush and free shipping. Proactive MD with prescription strength adapalene can heal and prevent future breakouts. Today, for just $19.95, we're offering listeners the 3-piece Proactive MD system with free shipping, plus a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. Get this exclusive offer by calling now, 1-800-583-8662, or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. You heard right, Proactive MD, plus free shipping and a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. You'll get all this for just $19.95 and their 60-day money-back guarantee. You're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you get your money back. Call now, 1-800-583-8662. That's 1-800-583-8662. Or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. Again, go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Free Talk Live.
Pushing women to the ground with a camera in her hand, I think a real man wouldn't do that. And you got to be on roids or something to get into that state of mind.
Well, Wayne hit it on the head. If they're not on steroids, and a number of them, some of them are, most of them probably aren't. They're not on steroids, maybe, but they're definitely high on adrenaline. Former drug task force officer, when he started with the police, he would get that adrenaline rush from writing a ticket. And then, of course, he acclimated himself to it, and then he needed something else. He needed to escalate. He needed to have something else. So it got so extreme that he would leave people uncuffed. Like he'd bust a coke dealer or something like that, and then just leave them uncuffed on the hopes that they would get up and try to run.
So he could kick some butt.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Labor Day edition. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. This article from the Foundation for Economic Education, which I've been teasing for some time here, entitled "The Mass Shootings Are a Horrible Way to Understand Gun Violence. Gun homicides have declined sharply in recent decades, but polls show most Americans are unaware of this fact." After each mass shooting, there's an outpouring of emotion: grief, shock, sickness, anger. We saw all of these in the wake of the recent shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. This was written just before the most recent Texas shooting. And because the issue is politically charged, we saw lots of blame. Democratic presidential candidates blamed the president and his Twitter rhetoric. The president blamed video games, and yet despite what you may have heard, the frequency of mass shootings hasn't changed much over recent decades. The frequency of mass shootings hasn't changed much over recent decades. This is the Foundation for Economic Education, folks. They don't make mistakes like this. In fact, such shootings are rare and account for a tiny fraction of overall gun deaths in America. And this is really, really, really important. You are terribly unlikely to be caught up in a mass shooting. If it happens, it's tragic, but it's terribly unlikely. About 33,000 people are fatally shot in the U.S. each year. About 2/3 of those deaths, so 22,000, are suicides. Now, I'm going to sound really callous right now, Rich. I don't support suicide. I think it's a coward's way out. I understand people could be drinking and just decide, have a bad moment and, do whatever. But a suicide by gun, a death through suicide by gun is what? A success?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the person did what they set out to do.
I would say that to commit suicide is a basic human right.
So they killed the one person they had the right to kill.
Exactly.
With a gun. Now, they likely left a terrible mess for someone else to clean up. You go out and do it in the woods, that's one thing. But, not everybody has access to the woods. Also, if you're shooting yourself in an apartment, where's the bullet going to go? If you're drunk, you're probably not thinking of that. Look, I think it's bad. It's certainly not good. And yes, I do believe that there are people who, in the absence of having a gun, would be alive today that committed suicide. But I really don't know what to do about that. I can either care about the life of people who are suicidal, or I can care about your right to keep and bear arms. I can care about one of those two things. I cannot care about both. It's not possible, because you have the right to take your own life. You shouldn't do it with a gun. You shouldn't do it in an occupied area. I mean, you probably shouldn't do it with a gun. Depends on the circumstances. But whatever. This is a success. So going on. That leaves 11,000 deaths. Another third of these are homicides, which have been steadily declining for decades. What about the numbers that are, homicide and a mistake is the same. Some people are killed by accident with guns, right? I mean, I had heard a hunting story. A guy got shot. It's terrible. Happens. In 2015, some 13,000 basically people were killed in the U.S. by firearms in non-suicide related deaths. In 1993, that figure was 18,000. In most of the years in between, part of a decades-long trend of declining gun violence. Mass shooting victims accounted for less than 1/10 of 1% of shooting victims. So, every person who's shot, every 1,000 people are shot, one is shot in a mass shooting. And it's less than that. Less than one is shot in a mass shooting. So, mass shootings are tragic and terrible and all these sorts of things, but they are a fraction, a tiny fraction of the homicide deaths with guns, and much even tinier of the deaths with guns. Now, when somebody just wants to mention that 33,000 people were fatally shot in the U.S. Each year, that person is likely ready to tell you some BS. Because they're already misrepresenting the suicides. They're throwing in the 2/3 of those deaths that are suicides. That person's already trying to lie with numbers. So watch out. If they don't say homicide, instead say gun deaths, you have a liar on your hands. Going on. The fact that gun homicides have plummeted in recent decades, even as the number of firearms increased by about 50%. And this is true. Remember that those gun deaths that occurred during the Brady rules or whatever, that assault weapons, by the government's definition of what assault weapon was back then, were outlawed. More people were killed when the government had outlawed assault weapons than now. Now that it's legal, fewer people are dying. Now, you can call that correlation causation if you wish. I don't know. I wouldn't propose to know. But it's certainly not, doesn't indicate that banning weapons is a solution to much of anything. Let's see. The fact that gun homicides have plummeted in recent decades, even as the number of firearms is increased by 50%, and the U.S. population increased by 70 million, is an important story. Unfortunately, it's one few Americans know. Gun polls show that polls show that 12% of Americans believe gun violence has declined in the U.S. Reality they likely missed because of extended media coverage of mass shootings. This coverage is problematic for multiple reasons. So let's see. Polls show that just 12% of Americans. That likely means that at the very least 88% of Americans either don't know that gun violence is decreasing. So for starters, a 2018 working paper suggested that intense media coverage of mass shootings is actually perpetuating the shootings. Economists Jay Walker and Michael Jeter wanted to better understand the motives of mass shootings. They explore a 3-year data set, and their findings suggest a positive, statistically significant effect of media coverage dedicated to shootings on the number of shootings in the subsequent week. So, apparently, according to these economists, the coverage that we give mass shootings causes people to want to go out and do mass shootings. Or at least contributes, let's say that.
What a shock. People who want to go out in a blaze of glory want attention.
I think it's interesting when the police don't say the person's name. I kind of like that sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I'm not entirely sure.
See, I'm kind of a heretic on that issue in that I think we should know what these people are actually saying.
I think we should know what they're saying.
In their own words. I don't think their Facebook pages should be taken down. I don't think their tweets should be untweeted. I don't think they should be made into what the Soviets called unpeople. I think it should be considered. We should find out what makes them tick. There's some really interesting things about them, including unmedicated crazy people don't do mass shootings. All mass shootings are almost exclusively done by medicated crazy people. And that's a scandal that somehow keeps failing to explode.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that mean that the crazy people's medicine's doing it, or does it just mean that they're on the wrong meds? I mean, I never know what to think about that.
You see, the thing is, if it's so hard to get medical care in the United States, you'd think there's a lot of crazy people out there who can't jump through all those hoops. So the thing that I don't understand is why aren't they killing more than the crazy people who are medicated?
Maybe the meds make the crazy people sane enough that they can commit a mass shooting, but not, the people that are really, really, really crazy just can't put it together. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I guess I'm somewhat swayed because my first sponsor in AA committed suicide. And he did it after he was put on Prozac, and he had never been suicidal. He was depressed, but he wasn't that bad. He didn't want to die until after the Prozac. So I'm deeply suspicious of antidepressants and psychiatric medication.
Yeah, serotonin uptake inhibitors and the like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't propose to know, but there certainly seems to be a lot of talk around that. Those drugs and mass shootings, and I don't propose to know, but I can tell you that there are statistics involving mass shootings here that people just don't know. They don't know that gun violence is decreasing in the United States. Violence is decreasing worldwide. Gun violence perpetuated by non-state actors decreasing.
Yeah.
So what exactly are we hoping to achieve with these laws that people are talking about? Your thoughts are welcome. 855-450-3733. You're on Free Talk Live.
I am giving away $100 in Bitcoin Cash on September 2, 2019. And I'm not giving it away because I like giving away money, quite the contrary. It's because I need a favor. Please go to demo.freetalklive.com and fill out the survey there as thoroughly as you like. There's an optional email slot, and if you put your email in there, you will forever be signed up for whatever prize I'm giving to incentivize people that month to fill out my form. Advertisers need this info on our listeners, so fill it out as truthfully as you can, please. Demo.freetalklive.com.
Have you ever wanted to work when you wanted to work instead of having to report to an office when you would rather have done something else? Have you ever felt trapped by relationship rules like monogamy? There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,521, silver at $18.37, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,625. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, an FBI crime lab is examining 2 cameras from the area outside Jeffrey Epstein's cell, which reportedly malfunctioned the night he died, according to Reuters, citing a law enforcement source. The Mind Unleashed reports the 2 cameras would have had a view into the Manhattan jail cell, where, on August 10th, Epstein was found hanging by his bedsheet in what has been ruled a suicide. During a Tuesday court hearing, Epstein's lawyers told U.S. District Judge Richard Berman that they doubted Epstein committed suicide, and that the pedophile's injuries were far more consistent with assault than hanging, according to one of the attorneys. The 66-year-old financier was arrested July 6th on charges of sex trafficking minors and pleaded not guilty. He was denied a request for pretrial release, after which he was found with injuries he says were inflicted by his cellmate, according to his attorneys. During Tuesday's hearing, 16 women testified that Epstein had sexually abused them. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Solar panels that catch fire are not desirable or eco-friendly. Activist Post says it's bizarrely coincidental that the combustible panels are being made by Elon Musk's company, which also sells flamethrowers. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, Walmart is suing Tesla because of solar panels that caught fire at 7 of its stores. The lawsuit alleges that poorly trained installers who Tesla hired for Walmart were at fault, not the actual units. In 2018, Tesla's solar panels also caught fire at an Amazon warehouse. Amazon has no plans to install any more of them. More bad news on solar panels was reported in a July segment of Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. Many solar panels are turning out to be an expensive disappointment and even toxic. Elon Musk's company has also been launching satellites into space to beam 5G millimeter waves at Earth. An online petition calling for the return of an incoming Harvard freshman who was denied entry into the United States has garnered thousands of signatures. Harvard College Act on a Dream, a student-run organization, launched the online petition Wednesday, demanding the safe entry of Ismail B. Ajawi. As of Friday morning, the petition has more than 5,000 signatures. Ajawi told the Harvard Crimson that he flew into Logan International Airport on August 23rd, only to spend hours in questioning. He said an officer searched his electronics and noted that he has friends on social media who have posted critical statements against the United States. His student visa was canceled, and he was deported. Harvard University spokesman Jason Newton confirmed that university officials were working with the student's family and authorities to resolve the issue. The petition calls upon Congress to act in support of Ajawi and for Harvard to continue working to secure his reentry. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new report released this week has found that nearly 3/4 of sleepaway campers' parents are currently using their children's time away from home to take the first steps towards filing for divorce.
With 46% of campers' moms currently staying with their sisters while they try to figure it out, and 38% of campers' dads sleeping on the living room couch and staring at the ceiling for hours before falling asleep.
Most campers are, at this precise moment, wholly unaware that their fathers are looking for temporary sublets and are experiencing a level of carefree, joyful buoyancy that experts say they will never feel again.
The majority of campers currently have, on average, 16 days until their lives come crashing down around them, at which point their parents will pick them up from camp, drive them to a restaurant, and then break the news that while they'll always be a family, they won't be living together anymore.
I love camp this year. It's so much fun. Mom sent me so many care packages. Dad even sent one. It's awesome.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. It is the live Labor Day edition here on Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live about whatever is on your mind here on Free Talk Live. That's what we do on Free Talk Live. We've been reading this story from the Foundation for Economic Education regarding mass shootings. This is something that's really been on people's mind in the last month. It seems like the news stories of these are just they're coming at record pace, and still, mass shootings are an incredibly low percentage of shootings, and shootings themselves, death by homicide, not gun deaths, homicide deaths, gun homicide deaths, have been decreasing. Now, their gun deaths themselves have been decreasing too, but that's, the 2/3 of gun deaths are suicides. So it's
really unfair way to characterize what's going on. It's Mark with you, by the way.
And nobody.
The number is 855-450-3733. We'll get right back into this article, but let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, Bader Ginsburg, Kagan, Epstein, and ticking. That's what you were trying to find. Pillow, inner case.
Oh,
holds the fed.
The inner case of a pillow is called the ticking.
At least that's what my grandma told me when I was like 6.
I'll have to look it up.
Groovy.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what's on your mind?
And Kokesh.
Adam Kokesh.
And
host from last night and the night before.
Say again?
He was host.
Yeah, he was on last night and the night before. Yeah, and he had kind of indicated his first night that his flight didn't leave until Tuesday, so I was hoping he'd be on tonight too so that we could talk about last night. Because I've been supporting Adam ever since he was here in Albuquerque on the radio, which was 9 years ago, and I repost most or a lot of what he posts on Facebook in his pursuits. But I'm gonna have to stop doing that, and I wanted to discuss that with Adam on air here, because he's got a habit of going on radio stations that they implement this technique. I don't know if you've ever noticed that when a candidate or anybody else for that matter that is a guest, and in this case Adam was also not only a guest but a co-host, but they go on radio stations and then they ask for callers. I mean, they solicit callers. Hey, call in and talk about what's on your mind, that kind of thing.
Right.
You might have heard of it.
Oh yes, we do that here on Free Talk Live.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Anyway, so then people will take them up on their offer and they'll call in to comment or question to the guest, often a political candidate that wants to have power over the people that call in. And then what the technique that the radio station uses is that the caller will ask a question or make a comment, usually ask a question, and often they won't even let you comment. They want you to question only, for some reason. It's got to be in the form of a question, like whatever game show that is, Jeopardy or whatever, I don't remember. But anyway, so you ask your question, make your comment, and then what the radio host will do, the radio station will do, is they'll immediately hit, apparently there's a couple different buttons that radio stations have, and they'll hit one that will leave the caller on the air, but mute their voice so that they can't utter any utterances. And then the guest, politician, like in the case of Adam last night, will then supposedly answer the question, respond to the question, respond to the comment. And they say whatever, but they can say whatever they want because the caller is muted and the caller cannot correct the lie or inaccuracy or oversight or whatever it may be that comes out of the mouth of the politician wannabe.
So how's that Kokesh's fault? If that's how radio stations operate.
Usually, from my experience, the politicians know how this game is played, especially since in the case of Adam, he ran his own radio program for 6 months. So he knows all about it, and he's been on many, many, many other radio programs, so he knows all about it in his case. But even if it wasn't Adam, if it was somebody else who didn't run their own radio program, and they were a candidate, they would most likely know how the game is played as well, because mysteriously, when they would respond to a caller's question, the caller would never still be there to comment anymore. They just suddenly, were satisfied and gone.
So what do you think candidates should do? Do you think they should not
back to last night? I'm the one that wants to make a point, and so I'm going to continue down that line as opposed to being diverted. That's also another technique that is often used intentionally or inadvertently by people at the radio station, is they will redirect the caller off of the intended line of questioning for whatever reason. And I'm not going to divert. I'm going to continue straight ahead. So the point is that last night, that on your radio station, that technique was used, and not for the first time. It's used the majority of times, put it in those
Generally,
terms.
if I have somebody who's interview on the line, I will try to get a caller to ask a particular question for the person to answer. And most of the time, I don't have politicians. It's rare that I have a politician on the show. And in the case of Kokesh, he's running for not president. His intention is to not take office, or if he does take office, he's going to, try to diminish the power of the office as much as he can. So he's unique in that way. We rarely have politicians on, and rarely, even more rarely, are those politicians on at a time when somebody can call. But I get your point. Yeah, that is exactly how things are done. And it's interesting that other shows do them too. But what I find is that, personally, as a talk show host, that the callers kind of mess up the cadence of the conversation with.
And messing up the cadence, that is what is important in politics. We must have nice, clear cadence when we are picking the people that are going to dictate how we live our lives. That's what's important, is cadence. And we can't have those pesky citizen, voter, constituent callers messing up the cadence on our presidential candidates. Can we?
No, I'm not a politician, and all I'm worried about is my radio
You're not
program.
a politician. You're a radio station and a radio host, or whatever you want to refer to yourself. You're talking over me, and whatever you want to refer to yourself, and what you're doing. You know what? I wasn't raised to talk over other people, but I will talk over you because you do it to other people.
I think he should be able to say what he. I hope that there's something at the end of it. So I think what he's trying to say is
it was at the beginning. You guys did that last night. Ian was hosting. You did it. Adam, I used to support you. I'm not going to support you anymore because you're participating in this kind of BS.
Well, David, hold on. Before you go on,
acceptable.
Oh, this guy's
David,
just precious.
You're upset because you didn't get as much time on the radio as you wanted, and I understand that.
No, that's not it.
Yes,
that's not it. Are you psychic?
Yeah,
are you? No,
I was here.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
Okay,
you're a liar,
David. I was here, and you asked Kokesh if he knew about any, bad things that were going on in the New Mexican government. He said no. I mean, end of story. He didn't know of anything.
He did not say no, you're wrong. Listen to your own damn tape.
Okay. I talked to him during the break, and he's like, was this guy trying to catch me in something? And, he didn't understand what it was that you were asking. And
Did he not understand? Would that be a good reason to ask a question if you don't understand what you're being asked? Isn't it common sense that you would try to clarify it? But no, the radio station silences the caller so that you cannot speak to them anymore and clarify it. Sounds like really good communication, doesn't it, Mr. Genius?
Thanks for the call, David.
Wow.
So I think he makes a relatively good point that if you ask people for calls and on a particular topic, they call in on that topic, you probably should have a conversation with them. I think that much is good. I will say that there are certain communication styles that are that people hear more than others. So, there's that.
It was a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
855-450-3733.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkBags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkBags.com/FTL.
Wouldn't it be nice to wake up in the morning whenever you want and work and play whenever you felt like it? Date women under your terms instead of society's? Be a completely free man and live a completely free life? You can live this way. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
On a live Labor Day edition. Reading an article here from the Foundation for Economic Education on mass shootings. And trying to put things in perspective. The U.S. has suffered 7 mass shootings so far in 2019, and I think those numbers are now up one from this article, which is a couple of days old. These shootings have claimed the lives of 58 innocent people. If no more mass shootings occur in 2019, a big if, and clearly not true because it happened just days after this was written, mass shootings will likely account for about 1/10 of 1% of gun fatalities in the U.S., as they had said that it has been traditionally the case. About 1/10, less than 1/10 of 1% of gun fatalities in the U.S. are for mass shootings. And actually, at 1/10 of 1% is an increase. The 7 shootings are too many, and each of these 58 deaths is a senseless tragedy. Yet, in a nation of 320 million, people die senselessly with jarring frequency. About 10 people drowned every single day. 10 times that many die daily in motor vehicle accidents. As science writer Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out, we lose 500 people to medical errors and 300 people to flu every 48 hours.
Which makes it super ironic that the doctors are always coming out and saying how we shouldn't have guns. Maybe we shouldn't have malpractice.
Often our emotions respond more to spectacle than to data, he tweeted. We should strive to better understand why people are increasingly seeking to unleash mass violence. But even as we do, we must keep mass shootings in perspective. In reality, the odds of dying in mass shootings are extremely low, not much higher than being killed by a random blast of lightning, which claims about 44 Americans annually. Perhaps most importantly, we mourn the victims and try to understand what's happening. We must not fan the anger, resentment, nihilism, and hatred that bubbles beneath the violence. So there you go. I think that this is something we need to keep in perspective every time when talking about mass shootings, because the mass shootings, when people start talking about it, it's all emotion-based. I mean, obviously it's bad, and it happens, but it's not much more deadly than lightning strikes. And, yeah, I mean, certainly people can take steps to not be where lightning strikes. I mean, probably shouldn't be standing out next to trees in lightning storms or something. But,
how many people a day does the U.S. government kill?
Well, if you're just talking about police, it's about 1,000 per year, so 3.
Well, no, I'm thinking police, but also how many people do they kill in Iraq and Afghanistan? All the wars.
I'd say that, and you'd have to include death penalty in that, and the
death
problem
penalty is pretty low, but yeah, it should
low.
be counted.
Yeah, and it's just U.S. government, not state governments.
Well, I guess, I mean, at this point, the state governments are more or less wholly owned subsidiaries of the federal government, sadly.
I don't know the answer. I'd say it differs year to year, because some years there's a lot more people that die due to wars than others. But I would, I'd say that at this point we know that it's about 1,000 deaths per year from police on citizens. So, there's that, which is far deadlier than mass shootings. Let's go to Jim calling in from New York. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I'd like to. There's about 1,000 people killed by cops per year.
Is this James in Arizona?
What kind? Who?
Go on.
And there's over a supermajority of those people are killed in self-defense by the cop.
Certainly.
But to keep it in perspective, you have about a 0% chance of being killed by a cop, Rich Paul or Mark Edge. But
yeah, definitely James in Arizona, who's banned, by the way, for threatening hosts. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And yeah, I think that it's certainly true that many of the people who are shot by police are shot in what they would call good shoots by the government. It's also worth pointing out that that in Canada, there's about half as many people as far as the population goes per capita shot by police as there are in the United States. And the demographics in Canada are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
If you start looking at Europe, there are more people shot in 1 year in the United States than all of the last 100 years in Great Britain.
By police.
By police. Yeah. And, Germany, the numbers are even lower. Iceland, in the history of the country, 1 person has been shot. The guy totally deserved it, mind you. I'm not saying these are innocent victims or anything like that, but it is worth pointing out.
A lot of the ones in America are. Philandro Castile.
Yep.
Springs to mind.
These are the cases.
Guy they shot in the hallway of the LA hotel as he's on his knees begging for his life.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God, the acts of depravity by these cops, they infuriate me more than any other because, they have the privilege of doing it with impunity.
I would say that I tend to agree with James in Arizona on this, is that probably if we look at the percentage of shoots out there, it would be
although you could say that, hey, maybe this problem could have been solved without the shooting, that the police probably have legal justification from their standpoint. I'm obviously not talking. The Philando Castiles of the world are the exception to the rule, and I think that police should be responsible for their actions. And if you hold them responsible for the obvious, glaring problems like Philando Castile, then they will think about the ones as to whether or not they should be shooting, this person or that person. There's each story needs to be looked at individually. Now, when I'm talking about mass shootings, I'm just trying to put things in perspective. We also talked about lightning here, and I don't hate lightning. I don't hate cops. I don't hate anything. I just want to put things in perspective as to what's deadly and what's not. And mass shootings in this country are deadly for the people that die, but not particularly deadly when it comes to the number of things that occur. So, there you go.
Yeah, they really beat Tyson up for saying that too, it's absolutely true.
Tyson,
should be acknowledged. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, Tyson, yeah. The liberals who love Neil deGrasse Tyson really went after him for trying to give some perspective regarding the mass shootings and what the dangers are and things like that. And it's just perspective, people. It doesn't mean that you're saying anything terrible about the victim's family or anything like that. I don't know. Whatever. It's Twitter. It's an awful place.
Yeah.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. If you want to follow Free Talk Live on Twitter and say mean things to us, well, it's twitter.freetalklive.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live, live Labor Day edition. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
The number is 855-450-3733. And the phones have lit up. Let's go right to the phones. We got Matt calling in from Aberdeen, Washington, KBKW. Matt, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello. Yeah, I have a question about the overall gun deaths in America per year compared to actual war zones like Ukraine or Syria. I wonder what the comparison is with just Americans killing each other as opposed to an actual war zone. Is it comparable?
So I'm sure it depends on the war zone. When you say gun deaths, that includes suicides. If you're talking about Americans killing each other, then you're talking about a number that's a third is the size. So basically, it's like 33,000 versus 11,000 as far as the rough numbers go.
Okay. All right. Well, and then if you figure, okay, there's a war going on in Ukraine and Afghanistan and everything, are more Americans dying, killing each other than as opposed to what's going on in a war zone?
I'm pretty sure that the American government is killing way more people in war zones than the American people kill at home.
But which war zone are you talking about, Rich? I mean, the United States isn't in a hot war right now.
Well, I mean, as I recall, there are people in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, maybe? No, we're out of Libya. They're doing the slave thing there now.
There's really not much going on as far as a hot war goes on. I think there's certainly years that you're talking about. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's a true statement. But there's other years when, no, it's not.
So we're not
really in a hot war right now. Now, we'll never know what the what Special Forces is doing. Got no ideas.
Yeah.
Matt, I would say that it's safe to say that, yes, there are more people killing each other in the United States than in some war zones. But it would depend on the war zone is really the answer to that.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Any point you want to draw from that?
No, thank you.
Thank you for the call, Matt. Appreciate it.
The interesting thing about that, though, is guess where more people were killed the day of that mass shooting than in the mass shooting?
Probably
Chicago.
Yeah, well.
58 people,
I
believe, were shot. And that's...
no one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, and Chicago has full-on gun control.
Yeah, right.
It's outlawed there.
David calling in from Jackson, Mississippi, WKHM. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, Jackson, Michigan.
Excuse me.
Hey, I was born in Jackson, Michigan.
All right.
Grew up in Ann Arbor.
Small world. Yeah, right down the road from Ann Arbor.
Yep.
Yeah, you just stole my thunder, though. I was just going to mention Chicago, that when they were talking about the El Paso shootings and the Dayton, Ohio shootings, there were 2 incidents in Chicago, 3 hours apart. 7 people killed, 46 others were wounded by shootings. And nobody wants to talk about the mass shootings. So far, just this week, from 9/1 to 9/7, 3 have been killed, 19 have been wounded, total of 22 shot just in, 2 days. For year-to-date in Chicago, that nobody wants to talk about, total shot, 1,888 people shot in Chicago.
1,000 people have been shot in Chicago this year.
Yeah. Year-to-date.
Wow.
Yeah, not killed. Homicides are 348, but 1,800 people have been shot in Chicago.
And this is a lot of this is gang violence, so it's not considered a mass shootings in mass shootings.
Yeah,
numbers?
apparently it's the mass shootings that nobody wants to talk about for some reason.
Right.
Wow, we could have numbers
handguns,
like that
basically.
if only we banned guns.
Yeah.
What
but
do you
nobody
suppose the
wants to
reason
talk
is?
about banning handguns. All these shootings and killings every day in Chicago are being done by handguns, but nobody wants to talk about banning handguns. Let's ban assault rifles. Yeah, they're 0.1% of the killings are done by long guns. But yeah, let's ban those.
Why do you think
they're
it
not
is
the things
that people?
they're not the things that's doing all the killings.
Why do you think the media won't address the Chicago issue?
Because it's a Democrat-run city, and it would make the Democrats look even worse because the Democrats don't want to talk about what's going on in Chicago because they know it's a Democrat-run city, and they can't handle it. Number one, they have loosened the imprisonment and the punishments for shooters in Chicago so generously. Like, remember back before, I think it was before President Trump was our president, they were saying, bring in the federal prosecutors into Chicago, that'll fix it. Yeah, because under federal punishments, if you discharge a gun shooting at somebody in public, under federal punishment, it is 18 years in prison. Chicago has it as 18 months.
Jeez.
Due to overcrowding, they're released early. 18 months. They've downgraded it so much, it's only 18 months. They've downgraded, and because of the overcrowding, they're letting these criminals out in less than 8 or 9 months of an 18-month sentence.
I did that much time for selling
that's
weed.
just a vacation.
It's
just a vacation to them.
I can predict
They
the outcome of
spend
this.
6 or 7.
They're going
Yeah,
to
exactly.
They're going to build more prisons to employ more government officials as prison guards, and then they're going to basically be a prison state because so many people are committing crimes. And once somebody commits one crime, they're much more likely to commit more. They go in, they spend a little bit of time. At some point or another, they're doing life on the installment plan. And then they get hit with the big one.
Exactly.
And
They just go and hang out with their buddies for 6 or 8 months, then they get let out and do it again. They get thrown back in. The chief of police of Chicago was there once, and he said, the main problem is repeat offenders. If somebody has an idea how to take care of this, let me know. Well, hey, chief, listen to me. Send them to prison for 18 years instead of 18 months. I'll take care of it.
yeah, I would think a longer sentence might be, worthwhile in that circumstance.
All they need to
Thanks for the
do
call, David.
is kick the people who don't belong in prison at all out. Kick out the prostitutes, kick out the drug users, kick out the drug dealers. There will be plenty of room for your murderers because there aren't that many of them.
Not nearly as many. And we've looked at the statistics on this, is that about half of the prison population hasn't committed any kind of violent crime. This is nationwide. I don't know what it's like in Illinois. And one has to kind of consider that some people commit crimes in order to get drugs. So if you win the drug war, those people probably wouldn't have committed crimes to get the drugs.
Yeah, because it'd be 50 cents.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as costly.
I don't think there's as good of an argument on that. Like, it doesn't sound as good. I wouldn't suggest letting people out who've committed violent acts to get drugs. I'm just saying that maybe in the future, likely in the future, you will see less crime because fewer people will have to commit crime to get expensive drugs because, people don't commit crimes to get cheap drugs. They just get the cheap drugs.
Yeah, I mean, how many people are out robbing people to buy cigarettes? But cigarettes are more addictive than heroin.
Yep. Let's go to the phones real quick. Skip, calling in from Montana. Skip, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, I was listening to you guys talk about the unions, and while I'm not a huge union guy, I do think that you've got people that, and this guy was one of them actually, the guy from Illinois. He was basically a freeloader on the system, didn't want to pay not just union dues, but he didn't want to pay a fee to be represented by the union and use their health insurance and those kind of things. The benefits that he was getting, he wanted for free.
Well, I mean,
maybe he didn't want them at all. Yep. Maybe he wanted to negotiate his own arrangement.
Well, and you know as well as I do that a school district, for example, is not going to negotiate with every individual in order to have their own contract individually.
They're not. Hold the line, Skip, if you would. Just hold it. 855-450-3733. Big employers like Walmart negotiate individually. Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about AngioPrim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking AngioPrim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in AngioPrim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call AngioPrim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here. Final segment of Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And nobody.
And we've been talking about, well, a variety of things tonight, but Skip called in specifically about unions. It's Labor Day, and we did a story on public sector unions. Skip, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And so I just want to get some clarity here. Which... I read the story, and by the way, you're talking about you're hearing the show at a different time. So, who are you calling a free rider in this particular instance? Can you describe that situation to me?
Well, the guy, Mr. Janus, who was the person that filed the Janus case took the Janus case to the Supreme Court.
To the Supreme Court. Yep.
Yes.
And won. At this point, now in the United States, it is the highest law in the land that one cannot be forced to join a union, right?
Well, there's a difference between joining the union and paying a representation fee to the union.
Okay. So you can join the union and not pay a fee?
No, but you can not be a full member of the union, and up until the time of the Janus decision, you would be forced, if you want to call it that, but you would be responsible for paying a fee for being represented by the union in contract negotiations and benefit negotiations.
So say this guy is a Republican and that union gives a bunch of money to the Democrats, why should he be forced to make political donations against his own interests?
Well,
I mean, that's the big thing that unions do, is support the Democrats. That's their main function, it seems.
Well, it's not their main function, but that was one of the arguments that he used and one of the things that the Supreme Court looked at. But quite frankly, that's a small portion of what the money that he donated or gave to the union was used for.
Well, he didn't give it. It was taken. He had to go to court to stop it.
Sure. But the fact of the matter is that he benefited from that payment to the union.
I think that's accurate. He did benefit financially, but I think that the article, what Reason says here is that the state creates a monopoly. So in this case, public schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the monopoly. No, you can homeschool your child.
Oh, does that mean I don't have to pay for the government school?
No, you do. But
so they have a monopoly on your money.
Funding.
It's just if you have enough left after paying for a horrible education, they might let you give your kid a decent education, but be ripped of your education budget.
What's that?
You can send your child to a madrasa if you want to, whether it's Catholic, whether it's any other religion that you want. You are welcome to do that. You just can't take your money out of your portion of the money that's used for public schools out of the system. I'm a child of the
Exactly.
60s.
So you're going to steal
I'm a
that
child of
from
the-
me and use it for something that you think is important and I think is horribly destructive, the public school system.
But those of us that are children of the 60s remember trying to withhold the portion of the taxes that were used for the military during the Vietnam War, and we weren't allowed to do that. When you pay your,
that's
you pay your
another
taxes,
reason that you should
taxes
oppose
are
all
due.
taxation. Because
Well, that's a very nice pie in the sky kind of thing to not have any taxation whatsoever. But the fact of the matter
how
is,
is that pie in the sky?
Go ahead.
Because you have to pay for something. You have to pay for something, whether you pay for roads, whether you pay for schools, whether you pay for the fire department, whether you pay for
So
police
are
department.
you saying that when I write my check that I just sit there and I imagine that I'm paying for the roads and that I don't imagine that I'm paying for the bullets that mow down Middle Eastern people's kids? Is that what you're...
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
That's what you
were
just
forced
called
to do.
rich pie in the sky? That is the dumbest, most Pollyanna thing I've ever imagined. I've ever heard. I'm just supposed to sit here and imagine
the
what my stuff goes through?
theory.
Look,
just pretend it's not going on.
Skip.
The
government school is the worst school in a given geographic area for a given grade 99.9+% of the time. If you are going to force me, if the government's going to force me to pay for the worst school in a given geographic area, then, I have every reason to be outraged. It's not about education. It's about funding crappy unions of unhappy teachers.
And 86% of all statistics are made up, including the one I used just then.
Okay.
So the thing is that you can assume that the dollars that you pay in taxes are used for roads and highways and police departments and all the rest.
Well, I don't want to use for police departments. They're murderers.
No, they're not.
A lot of them are. Baltimore PD kills a lot of people.
I understand, Rich.
But not all the people. They don't kill all the people that they interact with.
Oh, well, we should love them for letting some of us live.
Skip, these sound like some pretty lame excuses for forcing people to pay for crappy government programs, don't they? Honestly, wouldn't it be better if I could just pay for the things that I used? So, if you want security services, pay for them. If you want school services, pay for them. If you want, whatever it is that the government's trying to force down your throat, make you pay 7 times too much for, make it free market. If it's worth having, it's worth paying for, isn't it?
So you should only buy the things that you want at all times.
What else would I buy?
Yeah, you should spend your money on what's important to you.
The fact of the matter is that there is a public good. And I grew up in Virginia, which is a commonwealth. The commonweal allows the government to make sure everyone is covered responsibly with.
You'd think they do a better job of making a school, but no, they always have the worst school. Where's the knifings? Where are the shootings?
What about the money that was spent on keeping me in jail for a year and a half for weed? That's money that was used to ruin a good person's life. And it was your tax money. So next time you pay your taxes, you think about that. You remember that your tax money is being used to ruin innocent lives.
I'm old enough to be collecting Social Security, so the next time you pay your taxes, remember that you're helping to fund my lifestyle.
Well,
I don't pay them. I won't work in their system. I would rather starve than pay their taxes.
Well, Social Security isn't really taxes. Come on. You paid in.
Well, no, you paid into Social Security. They squandered that money.
Of course they
and
did.
now your children are paying for your retirement, and there will be nobody to pay for theirs. So congratulations on screwing the next generation.
It is a Ponzi scheme. Skip, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Call back in sometime. I do appreciate this kind of challenge. Thank you so much.
You bet. Take care, guys.
855-45. I'm giving out the number. Let's go right to Jim here in Rochester. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live. Jim,
hello?
Hey.
Niggers, twist niggers, heads off niggers.
Hey. And we drop that. Double drop. Okay, there we go. That's what happens when people who listen on Twitch FM get on the radio.
Huh.
I think that there are people, Rich, that hear the show that don't know that we advocate for for human freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can come as a shock to some of them that for instance, some people disagree with certain public goods that are out there, and I think Jim was one of those.
Yeah. How I just don't understand how you can cheerfully pay taxes to an organization that takes that money and literally kills people, ruins lives, subjects kids to an education system that
the education system is what I want to talk about real
suicide.
Quick. We're talking about 19%. According to their numbers, 19% of public school graduates, not people who went to public school.
Mm-hmm.
Graduates of public school are functionally illiterate, 19%. Mm-hmm. In some district, that number reaches 40%.
Yep.
When you're talking about 40% of kids that graduate, not go to school, because there's plenty of them drop out before the end of school, that graduate, what's the point of having a government school anyway? If it's not middle-class welfare babysitting day prison at that point, I don't know what is. 40% of kids who graduate government school are functionally illiterate in some districts. 19%, that's almost 20%. Nationwide, you don't need a government education system for that. You can have no school at all and get those kind of numbers.
You could do better than that with libraries.
Go to freetalklive.com, sign up for our newsletter. It's freetalklive.com. You'll find the little block there to put your email in.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat.